Alright, this is the next section, and we are going to configure in this section static padding. The scenario here is you have around okay. The scenario here is we have a server here, okay, and we are running. So we have 2-3 servers here, and those servers are 210. No, not 210. Let's just check once. So you have servers here 220, 230 and 240. Okay, good. Okay, so you have server on 20.220. You have a web server here, then you have .230, you have FTP server here, and you have .240, you have another FTP server here. Okay, so 3 servers here. Then you have one DMZ router, partner server here, and you have another server, DMZ server here. Okay, so for all those servers, which includes what? 192.168.1.220, 192.168.1.230, 192.168.1.240, and it includes 172.16.10.100, which is in partner zone, and it includes 192.168.10.100, which is in DMZ zone. These many servers, right? Okay, this server here is running port 80. Let me write down here, port 80. This one is running port 21. This one is running port 21. This one is running, let's say, port 80. This one is also running port 80. Okay, and they are in different zones. Okay, these 3 are in production. This one is in partner, and the last one is in server. Okay, so let's say this one is running port 80 service. I think this much is enough, right? What I want is the people on internet should be able to access these servers, okay, using your outside interface IP. What is that? Now whenever you have 111, this IP address is accessed on port number 8080. It goes to first server. Whenever it's accessed on second port 2100, it goes to second server. Okay, 2121, third server. Okay, 8100 goes to partner server, and whenever it's accessed on 8000, it goes to DMZ server. Do you get this? So if someone accesses this IP address, but the port number happens to be this, he should be able to reach this server. If someone accesses same IP but at this port number, should be able to access same IP, different port number. Need to understand different zone, a different zone, and a different zone. This IP is same, the port numbers are different. In this case, this is your real IP, this is your real, port number. This is your mapped IP and these are your finally what do you need? Zones. So right, so source zone, outside, destination zone, either production, either partner or
DMs.
okay, we write down the rules similar to this. Okay,
Object network outside.
so let's see how do we write this rule. So I'll show you one and we'll just fill out the values. The other one. Okay, so this portion is correct. This is 10.100, right? Okay, this portion is correct. So let's come back here. Let me just tell it 10.1.1. So now or let me just remove this and here we'll configure another one. Okay, good. Show running object inline and we are going to write down this one for this object. Okay, so let's get back into this object. Okay, and define the NAT rule here. NAT to outside. It's going to be a static rule, but it's going to be a pat. So you have to give the
IP address.
so this is going to be your outside interface IP. Okay, next you are going to use a service because you are going to define port mapping, patting, right? Service. You need to define what? Protocol and the real port number. So what is your real port number here? 80. So here the real port number is 80. So we mark this and 80. And now we have to write down the mapped port number. What's your mapped port number? 1000. Jump back and one. Okay. Similarly, let's do it for the inside 220. So create an object first. Object network production server 192.168.1.220. Okay, description okay, and give the IP address 192.168.1.220. Write down the rule. NAT source zone is
Production outside. Then static.
good.
Then one.
Okay, no problem. Do a question mark. Mapped IP. Then service TCP 80 port number 8080. The mapped port number. So mapped port number is 8080. Do you get this? Okay.
Can we write multiple hosts on the same?
Auto NAT.
Right.
One NAT statement in a single object. Right? Single object, single NAT statement. Do you get this? Similarly, create another one. Object network production, what do I give? Production FTP 192.168.1.240. Description FTP server 40. Host real IP and NAT statement production to outside static using interface service TCP real port number 21. Yeah, 2100 as well. Okay, similarly let's do it for partners, and the partner server is what? For partner 172.16.1.100. description partner server host
interface service TCP 80 and number
8107. You get this? Go on doing this, but you understood, right? How to do this? This is not enough. What you got to do is amend this access list, add more entries here, allowing access to all those servers. Okay, so for that what you need to do is, if you want to allow access to this server, you need to allow web access, right? So for this already ACL is here. I'm not writing that. Let's write down for the second one, production. Okay, so this is the IP address, or yeah, this one. So say access dash list, this is the name, permit TCP from anyone to this server there has to be a space. Okay, and what should be the port number? EQ, real IP and real port number. Similarly do it for the next one. So all you have to do is change the name. So I'll put it this server. EQ 21. Okay, and then finally do it for this partner server. This is port number 80. So again create another ACL, access dash list, allow permit TCP anyone to this object and port number 80. Show access okay.
What is the exact purpose of this access system? So it is from outside to inside allow. Yeah. It is not required basically, but it's optional case, right?
Why is it optional case? You're coming from low to high.
How return traffic will come?
Not return traffic.
Source.
How outside people will access here?
Return anyway it will be there in the
How outside people will be accessing your servers? Low to high, right? Then so you have to manually allow it.
It is based on design. If you don't have access from outside to inside, you leave it.
For testing this, what do we need? We need to go to outside and do something like this, or did I enable on partner? Just give me a minute, let me just check here. I am not sure if I've done it here. Not done here. IP domain name as.com crypto key generate RSA of modulus 1024. Let's give a username and give a privilege and a password. Give an enable password as well, and go to line VTY 0 to 4. Allow logging through local database, and finally make it for HTTP services. Okay, so I am at outside. What I do is telnet to 1111. If it's port number 80 now get, okay, fine. So this is that internal server, get index.html. Okay, so this content is actually this connection is actually going to the inside server, the production server. So coming back here, you say show access list. You should be able to see the hit count here for production server. Okay, let's access the partner server. So this is the best one to know this. Show running NAT. Okay, now what did I do is, okay, I access port 8080, so I reach to the production server. You can see the hit count here, 220. Now when I access 8100, you should see a hit count here. You should reach the partner server. So let's try this. It should be 8100. Okay, so again try this, but this time unless there's no conflict, should be. Hope we have not made any mistakes here. Object this partner outside static interface service 8100. One 172.16.100. There is something wrong. Shit, it's 1000, not 100. My mistake. So what we do is, one of the thing is remove this because it doesn't. Show running access dash list. No, this is one thing. Another thing, show running, no, show running NAT. Let's go here, remove this and create another object .10.100. Host is 172.16.10.100 and write down the rule again. Service TCP real port 80 and then finally go back and put this ACL to host 172.16.10.100 EQ 80. Show running access dash list. There's the last rule over here, and show running NAT is the last rule here. And now show access dash list, you should see a hit count over here, and show NAT, you should see hit count over here. Okay, so let's go back. There you go. Get, there's no such file, but I'm just making a request. And our main portion is this hit count and our hit count over here. So very first here it was 0, now there is a hit count, and finally for your anything we missed to test, this one 21 to 80 and 8000. So finally do it on 8000. And okay, so this is the last one. So that one was for your where is it? So that one was for your FTP. So you should see a hit count here for FTP, and another hit count over the last one. What did we try? So check show accelerate, this is good. Fine. So this is, so you can see here it's everywhere, it's pat. Okay, and your flag is what? Static port mapping or static pat. Okay, so if you access any server on 111.8100, you reach this server on port 80, which is in partner zone. Okay, if you access the same IP but on port number 8080, you reach a web server which is in production zone. Okay, if you access the same IP 111 but port number 2100, you reach the FTP server of production zone. And same is here, if you access 111 on port 8000, you reach static padding. All these rules show NAT. All these rules are in section 2. Okay, section 3 you will write the general rule, right? Like you want to allow dynamic translation for all inside. So you write down here show running, this we have done in the previous sessions, but just to show you something inline, and you can use this object, and you can use internal, and you can use production, internal, production, what else? Yeah, that's it. So you can write down something like this: object group, okay, and say internal dash object group of type network object. It's an object, and the name of the object is this. Name of another object is this. Done. You already have the NATPAT object. Remember, we created in some previous session. Use it. Okay, so write down the rule. NAT any outside. Now you need to see this, show NAT. Now I want to put this, whatever rule I am writing, I want to write that rule below this, means at the second place, not at the first, at the second place. So what do I write? NAT from any source interface, if going to outside, position is in after auto, section number 3, okay, sequence number 2. Do you get this? And now your normal rule, source dynamic happens to be the group name which we just now created, this one, okay, and the mapped object group which is NATPAT show are we good? Because this is more general rule. Anyone from the source object what I am defining here, let them come from any of the interfaces, but if they match any of these IP address or subnets, okay, in that case you start using this group for translation. And this is an object group, this is also an object group which refers to single objects or subnets. Okay, now about section number 1. Okay, so we'll look at some of the policy based translation in the next section. Okay, and those rules we'll try to put in section number 1. Okay, so we'll write the rules more or less similar to this, but the only difference will be you will not be using after auto. So when you don't use after auto, the rule goes to section number 1.